you. Welcome to Bearbackers. Third string today. I'm third string today, so you know they got rid of everybody else.
Number one in our heart.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. I appreciate that. Everybody else is out working hard on other things going on around town. So give you an update kind of on the schedule for the week. You got the Nathan Brown Show tonight at 7 at Walk-Ons, and it's on the Buzz too, 106.7. Women's golf is just teeing off about 12:40 our time at the Golf Week Red Sky Classic, and they're there through Wednesday in Colorado. Volleyball is at Little Rock tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the Governor's I-40 Showdown at the Stevens Center. So if you get a chance and can run down to Little Rock tomorrow, they'd appreciate all your support. Thursday, women's soccer continues ASUN conference play at Liberty in Lynchburg, Virginia at 5 p.m. Central. Friday, men's and women's cross country is at the Arkansas Chili Pepper up in Fayetteville Friday afternoon. Volleyball hosts Eastern Kentucky in an ASUN conference match at 6 o'clock in the Prince Center. And UCA Tennis is hosting their fall invitational on Friday and Saturday. They're playing here and over at the Conway courts over there by Conway High. And then Saturday, football. We do have a football team. In case you are wondering, it feels like it's been about 6 months since we played a home game. But we get 2 in a row now. So the football team's back home on the stripes on Saturday against Austin Peay at 4 o'clock. Men's soccer is at home Saturday in a huge ASUN conference match against Lipscomb. That is who they tied for the conference championship regular season title last year with, and then also got beat in the finals of the conference tournament by Lipscomb. So that's a huge match, as they're the only 2 undefeated teams left in the conference in men's soccer. And then on Sunday, volleyball hosts Bellarmine at noon at the Prince Center. And women's soccer finishes their road swing at Queens University in Charlotte, North Carolina. All right. So today we're going to start with Coach Frank Kohlenstein to talk about the men's soccer program. We're 4-3-1 overall, 3-0 in the ASUN. We beat Stetson on Saturday, and I'll let him talk about it, 3-1. Had a good run and lost to Memphis earlier last week. So, Coach Kohlenstein.
So, I haven't been here in a couple weeks because I guess I talked too long last time. So they have to space out my minutes. But I was also trying to get an NIL with one of the retirement homes here in town. I'm working on it, you know. But as always, I'm grateful to Dr. Davis and Dr. Teague for having me here as a coach. I really enjoy it here. I enjoy my colleagues. I enjoy the student athletes. I did not enjoy the heat last week, so we got to do something about that. And I appreciate Dr. Davis doing that, because we all know that he's all powerful. So that's really good. But I also, you know, as grateful as I am to them, I brought a special guest today. It's my wife, Deb, and I'm always grateful to her, because she's put up with me for like 49 years. And she could write a book about being a coach's wife, because she does it in an excellent way and allows me to follow my passion and support me while I'm doing it. So that's really great, and happy that she's here. And then I have to tell you that from the last Bearbackers, I used one of Coach Brown's lines from it in the middle of the match on Saturday. You know, the coaches got to thinking about, well, we've lost 3 players from our midfield, and we only have 2 left. So when you've lost 3/5 of your midfield, you got to come up with another plan. So the coaches were like, brilliant. We'll change our system and we'll do all this stuff. And then we started out the match and we weren't doing very well. So in my head, I go, well, Coach Brown said, sometimes you just have to let them play football. So we switched back to the original lineup that we were doing, and I said to the guys, hey, Coach Brown said, sometimes you just got to go out there and play football, and we did. And as Daryl brought up so kindly, our loss to Memphis on Tuesday was a punch in the face. It is the first time in, coaching over probably 4,000 matches between youth coaching and everything else that I had ever been involved in a match that I was involved as a coach where we were up 4-1 and we lost. I'd never had a 2-goal lead and lost before. So that was something else. But then, you really start to think how important Saturday was for us. And our sports psychologist sent us a thing, and he called it Dano Lees. We call him Dano, and he put in, that's the language of Dano. He said, in academics, you learn and then you get a test. But in athletics, you get the test and then you learn. So I was hoping that we had learned a lot from Memphis, and the guys showed up and really showed their character, because I also believe athletics doesn't build character, it reveals character, and then you develop the character. So, we had gotten punched in the face, and then we showed that we had some character because we came back and won a very tough match in somewhat of a hostile environment. So the guys stepped up and did really, really well for us. And if you get a chance, the marketing department is billing Saturday as football. Or, in Arkansas, we'd say, we got some soccer, and then we got some college football. So we're hoping that you come out for both. I mean, it gives us an indication of how all our sports sort of support each other, because as we're driving from the locker room to the match field, the guys are saying, well, how's our other football team doing? Because, they were on a drive about to come back, and, we were very interested in how they're doing. And for me, it was big time when they won in Idaho, because Idaho's not that far from Colorado, and I still have a house in Colorado. It seems like Dr. Teague might want to have a house in Colorado, too. He sent me a picture of where they were. I think the golf team is required to go to Colorado now, so he can enjoy that. But it is a really, really big match, and the guys on our soccer team are worth admission for sure, even though it's free. They supply a lot more than that. They compete on a very high level. I think I saw this morning that we were ranked 25th in the RPI. That's the ratings power index for soccer, and that's of all the schools playing Division I soccer. There's 206. We're up to 25, and that's because the kind of schedule we play and how we do against some of the top teams. As I think Memphis was like 12th in the country, and Washington at the time we played was either second or third, depending on which poll. So these guys compete, and one of the really cool things about it, and I think this is really cool for the entire university, not just for the athletic program, is our guys do come from all over the world. I mean, our leading goal scorer is from Norway. We have guys from all over the world. Our goalkeeper, he's from Texas. Countries all over the world. We have because Texas does consider itself another country, but. Their sort of integration into the total campus environment is really cool. They go to the volleyball games, they go to soccer matches, they go to plays, and they interact from the students that are from Arkansas and Louisiana. And speaking of Louisiana, that's where our trainer is from, and he's really become a part of the staff, and we call him Logan the Lad, because if you can imagine a young man from Louisiana, he likes to feel like he's talking to the guys in their language, so he calls them lads. Hey lads, we're going to do this, because he's heard about being on the pitch and all these things. So they're really worth coming out to see. Sebastian Andreessen scored another good goal, had an assist. Jerry Gutierrez had a great goal for us to go ahead. And Richie Lapointe Guevara scored a goal for us from center back. So it's really a good group to come out and see, and I hope you will. It's going to be a tough match. And then you can tailgate underneath the big oak that we have out by our practice field, and then get primed up for the next football game. So you go to the match, then go to the game. It's football. Okay? So we'll see you all out there today.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate the information. All right, moving on to football. The other football on Saturday. The Bears finally returned home. It feels like we're starting the whole season over again. We've been going on the road so long, but we start ASUN conference play this weekend, so it's a big game. We play the Austin Peay Governors, who are 4-1 and 1-0 in ASUN play after they beat Eastern Kentucky at home on Saturday. Their only loss was to Western Kentucky to open the season. So let's hear from Coach Nathan Brown.
Thanks, Daryl. Frank, I enjoy listening to you, and I also appreciate the text. And that's awesome. He's been fun to work beside. Talking a little bit. First of all, let's talk about this Saturday. We're excited to get back on the stripes. I mean, bottom line, to get back on our home turf and get through a normal home work week, is what we would call it, is a big deal for us. It's an opportunity to get in front of a familiar setting, familiar obviously fans and crowd, and Conway, Arkansas, University of Central Arkansas, Bruce Street, Stripes never disappoint, and so we're excited about that. As far as Saturday goes, just a disappointing loss. We felt like going into that game, we matched up fairly well with Southeast Missouri, and give them all the credit. They're a good football team. I said it last week, I anticipate that team being a playoff team. I see them, them and UT Martin being at the top of the Ohio Valley Conference. One of those two, if not both of those two, will probably be picked on Selection Sunday for the playoffs. They're that good a team. But we had our opportunities and our chances on Saturday. We just didn't take full advantage of it. I think when you break down the film, you left stuff out there. We made some big plays on defense that kept us in the game. I still can think and continue to think through 4 weeks of the football season, our defense is playing at a really high level. They're creating turnovers. They're keeping the quarterback off their mark. Obviously, we'd like to get them down a little bit more. But again, they're putting us in a position to have a chance in 4-quarter games, which is huge. Offensively, we just left some what I call chicken on the bone. I mean, if you coming in Sunday, breaking down the film, probably left 14 points out there. First drive of the game, miss a pitch on a 3rd and short play that Darius Hale might still be running today, and it's Monday. It was open. Missed another opportunity. Ball got batted. We were going to hit Colin James down the sideline on another 3rd down play late in the first half. Would have tied it. Made the game tied going into halftime, which was kind of a 10-point swing with giving up the special teams touchdown as well. I told our guys, and I filled them in with this, I've been a part of UCA for a long time, and so the way I react, the way I respond to adversity is going to bleed to my coaches and my players. So like if you see me smiling, don't get mad at me, okay? Because it's important that perspective is always aligned with your head coach. I mean, that's the bottom line. When you don't get the wins that that you want to get, maybe not that you should get, but that you want to get, then it can easily trickle down and have a negative effect all the way down your roster. I know my role, and I know at this time it's to keep pushing our guys. I truly still believe down in our locker room there's a good football team down there. We're a 0-0 football team in the A-Sun. Let's go win a conference championship. I mean, we played a tough 4-game stretch. We knew going into it would be tough. Obviously, you don't anticipate being a 1-3 football team. You don't want to be a 1-3 football team. But the reality of it is it is our reality. And so we've got to react and respond in a positive way. And we've got good football players, and we've had our chances. When you play good football teams, the margin of error is very minimal. You're not able to make mistakes and beat good football teams, and that was the case with the first game of the year, Missouri State, and then obviously Saturday with SEMO, two great football teams. And I told our guys this on Sunday night. Bottom line is I've been at UCA for a long time. I've been a part of two UCA football teams in the Division I era that started out 1-3 and were playoff teams. One of those winning the conference championship. So 1-3 it doesn't scare me. It is what it is. It's 4 non-conference games. The way our conference schedule is set up with the A-Sun, majority of our games is non-conference games. We've got a chance to go control our own destiny within the A-Sun. And I use this example to them in 2011. Okay, 2011 we had played 4 games. It was Nathan Dick's first year being a starting quarterback here at UCA. Ended up being a really good quarterback for us for 2 years. We opened that year with a win against a Division II opponent, Henderson State. Beat them by 2 touchdowns. Didn't blow them out of the water. We were a Division I team. Beat them by 2 touchdowns. Good. We got a win at home. We went on the road to Louisiana Tech. Lost to Louisiana Tech. Went on the road. Got spanked by Sam Houston State. Went on the road and got spanked by Arkansas State. We're sitting there 1-3. Probably feeling about like our team does right now, but knowing we got a pretty good team in there. We played a tough schedule. We've got a pretty good team in there. And so how are we going to react and respond to that? Well, that team decided to react and respond with 7 straight wins. They went on to beat McNeese, Southeastern Louisiana, Northwestern State, Stephen F. Austin, go down the list, Lamar, to win 7 straight games, get in the playoffs, go beat Tennessee Tech in the first round, and eventually get beaten by Montana in the second round at Montana. This team hasn't done that, but this team knows that's what they have the ability to do. Getting at home is going to be big for this team. It's exciting. Get our guys back to some normalcy. Get our guys back to a normal schedule work week. And they got no choice but to keep pressing forward, right? That's the message. Is you got no choice, right? So like when we talk about losses and tough times, I mean, the great ones get up and stand up and do it again. I was talking about being like a bull rider. How many times does a bull rider get bucked off? But man, all they got to do is ride for 8 seconds. You're a world champion if you ride for 8 seconds about 15 times over about the course of about 45 rides in a year. You just got to stay the course. You're going to get bucked off. You got to get back up on the bull and ride again. That's how you have success. And I think we've got guys that are gritty. I think we've got guys that are talented, and I think we've got good boys that are going to go keep battling for each other and battling for this university. Looking at us dead in the face right now is Austin Peay. They're a 1-0 team in the A-Sun. They're 4-1 overall. They played an extra game because they played a week 0 game, so they're a game ahead of us in the schedule. So that's why they played 5 games to this point. But they're 4-1. This will be their second road game. 4 of those games have been at home. So they played on the road against Western Kentucky, and then they played every one of their other games at home. So it'll be good to get them back on the road and give us an opportunity to get at home and take our shot at them. They're a good program. They got 15 graduates or seniors in their 2 deep. That's a huge number. That's probably why they're 4-1. They also have 22 transfers in their 2 deep. That's Division I transfers and just other 4-year transfers. So they've changed their roster a lot. They're playing with a lot of new faces than what they've had in the past couple of years, and that's the trend we're seeing week in and week out. I was talking to some people before. We're sitting around that 8 number, the number being around 8 transfers. Most teams we played have probably doubled that. So you're seeing more and more of that in college athletics, obviously in football and what we're looking at. But offensively, they're explosive. They've got playmakers. They're not real big, but they're really shifty, really quick with their wide receiver room. Their quarterback is a very, very good football player. He'd be one of the better quarterbacks in the ASUN conference. He's done a great job. He's a transfer from Middle Tennessee, but they tick as he goes, like a lot of teams do. But he's done a great job on defense. A very similar style defense to what we played on Saturday against SEMO. They're a three-man front. A lot of athletes on their second and third levels. Again, not a big, huge defense, but again, a very fast defense. And this is the ultimate compliment to any program. They play extremely hard. So when you hear another coach say that team plays extremely hard, I take that as the ultimate compliment, and that's what they do. They play with a lot of passion and flock to the football. Very solid on special teams. Just a good football team. They wouldn't be 4-1 right now in the position they're in. I don't know if polls came out, but they'll be a top 20 team this week. That'll be our third top 20 matchup of FCS teams to this point. So we're getting tested, but to be the team we want to be, we've got to win some of those tested games, and so we've got to look ourselves in the mirror. It starts with me as the head coach, and it goes all the way down. We're going to push the right buttons, and I told a team on Saturday that was frustrated. They were obviously sad, hurt, A lot of emotions going when you lose a tough game like that, a close game like that, a game that you put a lot of time and effort in to win. But it's like I told them, we're going to find what buttons to push, and it starts with evaluating everything we do, from practice time to wait time to meeting time, how we're doing things on a daily basis. And so whatever it takes to push the right buttons on this team, we're going to find, and we're going to do it. Last thing I want to say is, when we were driving home Saturday, I caught the tail end of Arkansas's press conference with Coach Pittman. They obviously lost a tough one to Texas A&M, and I needed it, man. I needed it. You know how sometimes like God puts stuff in your life, like things you hear, and you're just like, man, I needed that right now. That was pretty cool. Well, I was listening to radio, and I was kind of turned down. And I kind of heard it come on, and Coach Pittman's at a different point in his career than I am, right? Coach Pittman's at the point in his career where, he tells you kind of like how it is. He's not overly politically correct. I mean, he's going to tell you what his opinion is. I mean, there's not much to waver on. But he had somebody, a reporter asked him, said, essentially asked him, said, Coach, what are y'all teaching, coaching fundamental wise? Y'all fumbled inside the one, and then in the same question, he said something like, well, what about those play calls where you put the backup quarterback in and ran some trick plays? Y'all running it down their throat. Why would you do that? And what was the reasoning behind that? And Coach Pittman's pretty matter of fact, and he just so I'm sitting there questioning a lot of things. You look back as a coach, you think about the game, you think about the week prior, what could we have done different? And he said, just real kind of he doesn't talk real fast, and just really kind of just slow and matter of fact. He just said, well, I'll tell you this, we coach our guys weekly, we coach our guys daily. I promise you, we coach fundamentals on protecting the football. He said, if my players did everything we coached them to do, I would probably be 15-0 every year. I would probably already be retired, because I would have made enough money that I could be sitting on the beach somewhere, but they don't, and that's why you got coach in front of your name, and that's why you teach them every day, and that's why you learn from mistakes. And then he said, as far as the offensive play calling goes, we spend hours upon hours upon hours putting scheme together, and those plays look pretty dang good on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but Texas A&M stopped them. So I don't second guess any play call we make, because it's there for a reason. So, I was sitting there listening, and I'm like, man, that's true, because you second guess a lot of things you do as a head coach. You second guess a decision to go for it. You second guess a decision to punt it. You second guess maybe a decision to put a guy in this spot as opposed to this spot. But man, it's pushing the right buttons at the right time, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're an 0-0 football team right now. Excited about what's ahead of us. I've got a group of men that are ready to go, and we're looking forward to the challenge, but we're also looking forward to the opportunity that is ahead of us. And And I know that the UCA Bears are going to come out of this. And like I said, back that 2011 team, that was a perfect example of that, and I gave that example to our players. That's a team that figured it out, found a way, and nobody even remembered the 1-3 start. You know, we figured it out, we won games, and we became a really good football team, became a top 10 football team that year, and made the most of the talent and the coaches and the people we had involved in that year. So I look forward to our team pushing to that, and it starts on Saturday. With a good, obviously a good A-Sun opponent coming into town. But we're happy to be back in Conway. That's the main thing. And hopefully everybody's excited to get football back here. And I promise you that's a good team down there. We're going to put a good product on the field on Saturday. Any questions? All right, I'm going to leave y'all with this. So our team chaplain, Ryan Lajeunesse, for those of y'all that don't know him, unbelievable guy. He's got the big red beard. If you see him on the sideline, he's always pulling Coach Kitchen's back. He left our team with this in our devotional on Friday night. The word was furgun. Furgun. It's a Hebrew word. And so this is like when you live life, let's live life this way. And I challenge my team on this because we're living in a world where, and coaches, y'all can probably attest to this, you know, so there's a lot of me. You know, if it's not going my way, it's tough. And so we're counselors. Y'all know this as well as anybody. We're counselors. You wouldn't believe how many times in my day my office door is shut talking to players. But hey, that's why I coach, and that's my passion. I love it. But furgun is a Hebrew word, and its meaning is genuine delight or pride in another person's achievement or something good that has happened. What a way to live life, right? Awesome. Thank y'all.
Just so y'all know, Austin Peay is ranked 22nd in the country in the new poll, so they're a good football team, and it'll take a good game by us. So lots of things going on this weekend. Probably one of the busiest weekends we've had in a while on campus. We've got volleyball on Friday and Sunday, men's soccer at noon on Saturday, football at 4, and then we have family day, band day, and a lot of activities going on. I think it's also a Bearfax Day weekend, and so we got a lot of new students that'll be on campus, or prospective students on campus. So lots of things going on. Show up early, bring your purple and gray, and show your support for UCA athletics. Go Bears, go Sugar Bears. Bear claws up.